Hello teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel and to this edition of Condensed Milk. In the time between me turning off my computer yesterday and getting up today, Foodie managed to post 5 lives. 5. I've been editing them down for the last 7 hours, and that was with me watching the initial stuff on half speed. So this is all just to tell you I may have missed a few things here or there. But we're not mucking about today. I have cut it down and we are getting through it. So let's get started. The first one was called Night Beezer.
Do you ever think that you just feel really needy as a person?
Ooh.
You know, like as a partner, like you feel like you need attention more, or do you know what I mean? Do you think that's a problem with yourself?
Generally speaking, yeah. I think everyone likes attention to an extent sometimes. I think Foodie is very, very needy in every aspect of every relationship we've seen. She really is very insecure, and that leads her to want proof of love continuously, which isn't always realistic and has led to many problems. Even within this extremely problematic situation she finds herself in now, we have seen examples of that when she was like driving in the car and she was going back. She's like, he hasn't answered, how nuts she go with the texts. Definitely a huge part of her personality.
I just feel like I never get enough attention from anybody.
I mean,
maybe that's a problem with myself.
Yeah, she spends how many hours a day on, like recently a lot. 7 hours editing, will attest. But yeah, she gets more attention than most people get. And it's never enough because it's, because it's never the right kind of attention. Any type of attention is good, but it's all kind of substituting for the things she really wants that she's not getting.
I know, like why is it so hard for men to understand that? It's just so easy.
I don't think in general it's hard for men to understand. I think she has shown us some particularly poor examples of what at a push we might call a relationship, and because she's needier than most and she's in a shittier situation than perhaps she could be, it's not bringing out the best in her, and at best it wouldn't provide a great level of understanding from either partner.
I'm a YouTuber with lots of love. Really, Coconut?
I would argue maybe not lots of love,
Danielle, I know,
but lots of attention.
But you know the type of love I'm talking about that, you know, all of you can't really give me.
Exactly. And for all we go, oh, she's such an attention whore. Like, people have noted her need for attention before. Most recently, and we're going to discuss this again and again in the course of this, she's looking for the fairy tale. More and more and more. Even as she's getting older, she seems to be regressing in that regard. She wants the fairy tale, which isn't realistic in its finest moment. It's not realistic, but she's looking at it for it in some really bad places. Sorry, it's a bit late. I'm stumbling on my words.
So fucking jaded.
I mean, unsurprising at this point.
And then you have somebody who's supposed to be your fucking friend share DMs.
Oh. She goes off at Shannon a number every stream, I think. She's still an angry little peanut.
Not all guys are the same, that's true, but
hers
all guys I've been with are like
her guy is a terrible representation of the gender.
I'm just gonna move on.
She does not, in fact, move on at any point during this stream or the next one or any of the following.
It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't even matter if something happened and I was beaten black and blue or whatever. As an example, the point is what she did was wrong, period. You don't fucking, even if it was abuse, you don't out abuse of your best friend. I've been pissed all day in a bad mood.
Yeah, we see evidence of that. I mean, she wasn't in a particularly great mood during her last infamous stream, was she? Understandably so, given the circumstances, but she's not known for her sunny disposition on her best, least challenged day.
I'm like, I'm better off being alone tonight, because honestly, I'm going to pick a fight. Honestly, that's why I'm home, because I was going to pick a fight.
I don't think that's why she's home. Guys, She tells a story later and it confuses the timeline a little bit, so I don't know if she's seen him since. I don't think she's seen him since the whole stream with Shannon went down, which is still up. I think she's really scared of losing those super chats. On the subject of super chats, I did go and check the rules, and it seems like the super chats are non-refundable because it's all been updated to include like the super, what are they calling them? The thanks, the super chat comments you can leave on videos that isn't enabled in everyone's yet. So it seems up-to-date information. The only way you can query it is if it was an unauthorized transaction. And that's no guarantee of getting your money back because they might rule against you. So when those super chats were sent, there was no guarantee they would get reversed. But I think the reason it's still up is because she wants the money. Apparently, if you take them down, you lose the money. I don't actually know if that's true either. If anyone live streams and has ever deleted a stream, please let me know. Did you lose any super chats on that, or are they yours once they're yours?
Because I'm just fucking mad. No, I'm not in danger. He is in danger tonight if I stay there.
She brought it up before when she was like, no, I was the one asking for drugs. I'm the one in control here. She is not the one in control here. And this new line is, no, I'm abusive. I'm unpleasant. I'm the one he's going to be in trouble with. Dude, you're the one getting punched in the face. When it comes down to it, you can be an asshole and you can still be abused. She's kind of an asshole a lot of the time, but she's still an abuser. She's still a victim in this. However eyes wide open she went into it, she is still a victim of domestic abuse here. Whether she's staying there voluntarily, she's got very few things leaving her stuck in this situation. It's purely a mental struggle for her. She hasn't got kids. She's not trapped there. She's trapping herself there, I should say. But it doesn't change the fact she has been the victim of something, even if she won't give us the details. And so this, where she's turning around being like, no, it was me. I realise that it's a thing people say to try and excuse behaviour, but it's really gross.
I was a fucking bitch today. He's in danger because I'm very bitchy. So if I stay there, I'm gonna fucking yell or, I don't know, fight with somebody.
Yeah, maybe. But then maybe he'll punch you in the face. That'll probably quiet you down. Harsh, yes. True, possibly.
I'm sick of everybody. I'm just fucking sick of this town. I'm sick of everybody. I'm sick of same old song and dance.
Yeah, and so immediately I'm sick of it. I need to run away. She starts talking about moving again. You take your problems with you everywhere.
My friend, I'm not sick of my chat. I'm absolutely not sick of you.
No. Keep super chatting.
But the thing is I don't know where I'm moving. I need to decide that. Like, I don't know what I'm doing for my fucking life. Like, I don't know. What is this solving right now? I'm not going to stop seeing him.
So she's not going to stop seeing him. And that's really what all of this was aimed towards. As I said, and the more we found out the last time, Shannon reached out in several different ways. She spoke directly to Dom, which may have been a mistake if potentially Chantal was still with him, still potentially in danger, because if it makes him angry, then it can make him angry at her. It can make him more than angry at her. Yeah? So there was a danger there, but she spoke to Dom, she spoke to the family, she tried to call Foodie. Foodie ignored her. Then she went public. There were steps taken, so all this discussion we're going to have about she should have reached out, she should have spoken to me, she should have done this. It seems like Shannon did a number of things to try and attempt those actions that didn't work out. Now, so going public, shitty thing to do perhaps, but something I understand. I'm still of the stance that I don't think she should have been in French Fry Girls chat. I don't think she should be in haters chat. I don't think she should be in our comments, in our lives. Yeah, I think that is a fuck you. I understand the fuck you, I do, because Foodie said a lot of shit after Shannon was blocked, but I do think it is just tit for tat now. It's gone beyond the I'm concerned for my friend, which came from a very real place, I feel, especially as a survivor of domestic abuse herself. She's like, scorched earth. Even if it costs the friendship, I'm getting her out of this by hook or by crook. And it hasn't worked at this point. But there are limits to how far that goes. And I think going into reaction channels chat is a limit that, okay, that's not with good intent. So that's kind of where I am on the Shannon thing. In terms of it helping, I mean, if it's out there, it's impacting her. If it's impacting her, then it's closer to helping her than it would have been if she hadn't done it publicly. So there are definitely two sides to that argument, I think.
I talk about I'm not going to talk. If I wanted to tell you guys what happened, I would have told you guys anything what happened. People, oh, I hope you're happy picking him over her, over your fucking. No, it's not about picking over. Somebody who loves you doesn't have you pick over anything. When she was in super abusive relationships.
Originally, Foodie told us about one. She's now extended it to two. And again, I understand with everything happening why she wouldn't give a shit that she was revealing this information. But it's not a good look when you're saying this is a betrayal of trust while actively betraying the information you had on her. Again, it's very eye for an eye and who the fuck cares, and I'll never forgive you, so I get why it's happening. But even before Shannon had revealed anything publicly, Foodie, had revealed that Shannon herself had been in an abusive relationship. So I don't think there's a moral high ground in this, really.
Yeah, I never fucking, like, oh, you ghosted me at that time. See ya. I don't have time to waste on. I don't know how much life I have left. We don't know how much time we have left on this earth.
I find it very odd that she can recognize that time is limited and shouldn't be wasted, but not recognize that as a reason to get out of her current situation.
I'm not gonna waste it being a friggin' dickhead, I'm so stressed I might have a cigarette.
She's not addicted to cigarettes, guys. She can put them down anytime she likes.
There. Just wine and then my puffers. Joe, my other phone is like fucking in the not trash, but it's downstairs and it's not charged. Why do people keep asking me if I gave my other phone to him? Who cares? Like, why is that anyone's fucking business?
And again, that's not a no. It's always a lie when she goes, well, why are you asking? It's an avoidance of an answer. We're asking because, hey, a lot of us have pointed out that he seems to be using you for money and you don't seem to be showing that. And when we saw the pan around his room, magically there was a working TV there, a TV that she said had been broken and so she hadn't brought back. Is that the same TV? So you've got a TV, you've got a phone, you've got you can give him whatever you want to give him, but when we say, hey, that's quite an expensive bit of kit to give to somebody who doesn't seem very trustworthy, yeah, it becomes evidence in the argument against it we're making, and that's why you don't like this line of question.
Can anyone answer me why that's anyone's business, and I'll answer you. Why do you have the right to know that? Why does it matter? I've gotten a lot of comments like that.
Yeah, and you know exactly why, and you know exactly why it matters.
Like, why does it matter? Why should I answer that? So, and by the way, Nick had the nerve to fucking message me today after Did I do something wrong?
Of course he did. Nick did not message her. She is not messaging with Nick. He's a useful prop. He's not actually talking to her.
Because I didn't message him back at the last time. It might be an ulcer. Maybe, but there's like a bulge on this side. Do you want me to show you? I'll show you. Oh, no, I can't. My floor is dirty. Can you see,
And also, please wear pants.
It's an umbilical. No. This side is more bulgy. There's like a bulge.
I was going to pause it to talk and I didn't want to pause it on the belly. She's got a number of things wrong with her at the moment. She's still got glass in her foot. She's had that hernia for a long time, if it's the hernia. She's got a number of pains and bruises and aches and things. She's got a problem with her stomach she hasn't sorted out. Go the fucking doctor. Go the doctor. You have many potential issues and you've got a ton of medication you're on. You need to talk to a doctor. She keeps saying, oh yeah, I'll call. It's Monday tomorrow. I'll call. Just fucking go.
Oh, fuck, it hurts. It hurts a bit. I just feel like it's the right thing to do right now. I'm a lot more cautious.
I don't think.
Going forward, I've set some really strong boundaries.
I don't think you have. We talked about.
I think that just having my own place and with peds and everything, it's like a safe thing for me. It's a safety net for me.
She's making this sound good. I think absolutely she should keep her own place, but I don't think she's got the option of moving in with him right now, for reasons she'll go into later. But to frame it like this isn't a mature adult thing, sorry, I keep leaning on the space button. Like it's a mature adult thing that she has thought about and decided, I think is overstating her part in that a little.
So remember I told you whenever like Dom was like, I dropped the napkin and he's like, this is you. And he drops the napkin and he's like, I'll get it later. I'll get it. So then,
I mean, that is her.
Like when I drop something on the ground, he's like, no, he drops something on the ground. He's like, I'll get it Monday. I promise. And it's true. I do that to you guys. So you must watch my videos to get the essence of how I am.
That phrase is why I left this clip in here, because I don't really care about the story, but she's using it as a very cute, look, no, we joke together all the time. But no, he's watching my videos to get the essence of how I am. Sounds pretty bad in the current context, like, oh, he's trying to psychologically profile you so that he can manipulate you better, is what I'm hearing from that. And I'm sure it's very useful to have all these live streams and all her insecurities on display, because hey, now he knows what to do. And I'd be more concerned by it than amused, and she seems very amused and not particularly engaged in the idea.
Because you guys are like, I do that too, like, I promise I'm gonna unblock everybody one day. You know, like I'll like say like, not that it's funny because it's not, but what time it was. Ask me to remember anything right now.
Yeah, she does drugs
yeah,
on and off
was really
throughout
getting worse.
these
Like
streams.
I did so many edibles, but
yeah, she did.
I feel like eating the whole chocolate bar right now, honestly.
Speaking of eating, and it will come up again, she goes through some food, some drugs, but some food. Like something, and we'll get into it, has gone on between them since the Shannon stream, and she's just filling that emotional hole with every physical thing she can find.
Mostly because it's chocolate, and mostly because I just want to be comfortably numb.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it moving. Before we start the next one, I just want to point out a couple of the community tabs she put up. She did have 2 community tabs. One saying, hey guys, so I've decided, yes again, to not have any channel moderators. I just feel like it's better that way, as moderation isn't much needed anyhow on my members only live streams. Thanks for your understanding, of course it's never personal, I love you guys. So she doesn't seem to have had a big conversation with her mods before this happened, she just decided and done it. But mods are off right now, with the exception of Annie, because it was Annie's birthday and Annie's not a member. But about an hour after that, she said, today is unblocking day. If you have not already been unblocked, you will be by the end of the day. She hasn't finished by the end of the day because she was online with us the whole day, but she started the process. I've already done a bunch. I'm so sorry to my loyal and paid followers who have been blocked. I'm going through the list and I'm shocked at how many there are. Yeah, I personally believe I've said before that she had some mod who was very quietly just going in and doing it because she wasn't careful about the people she modded. I actually think this is a really positive thing. I think the reason she did this is because she knew the tide was turning based on the last live stream, based on all the lies that have been revealed, based on just the generally explosive information that's been in and out of her channel recently. I think she was trying, it's like me getting told off because I've done some at school knowing someone's going to call home and doing my homework before my parents tell me to. She's just like, no, look, I'm being a good YouTuber. I'm following through on the promises I said, to try and gain a little bit of positive karma, I suppose, to counteract some of the other shit she's been doing. I don't think this is enough, but it's a nice change. I think it's a positive direction. So let's go into the second one. It's Nashville Chickens.
I've been having a rogue mod treatment.
So that's what that refers to.
I did it because I've been promising.
Yeah, you have been.
And honestly, I'm kind of just sick of people like being like, you promised this, you promised that. And I didn't realize I just had so much on my fucking brain. And
she has had a lot going on comparative to her life before, but it really wasn't such a big deal. This would have been very easy to do before, but the fact is nothing was pushing her to do it, and now she needs sort of the ass pats from it and the like I said, the positive counterbalance from it. Now it's become a priority.
It's not like you guys aren't a priority, because obviously 330.
We are not a priority to her. Frequently, we are not a priority to her. But also money. I think her memberships went down hugely. If everyone's blocked, the people in the memberships are not happy, and it doesn't attract new memberships if you're just going to get blocked anyway. So I think money is a big motivator here too.
A sexual assault? Are all the women who have slept with him just now realizing what he looks like or something? And they're like, I'm charging you.
I'm not going to sit here clutching my pearls, but I think it's in pretty poor taste given the current conversations happening on your stream to be joking about sexual assault, and in general, not a funny topic for me.
So I don't mean to make a joke, but people are probably going to point out how stupid I am because I unmodded everybody on Annie's birthday, completely forgetting Annie's not a VIB.
Yeah, Annie has access to the streams because she's a mod, because she refused to be a member. Which doesn't it really kind of sum up her memberships in general, that Annie, one of her long-term loyal supporters, wouldn't pay for it?
I'm going to message her on Instagram, so I'm actually not sure if I'm even have a boyfriend anymore. I know I'm not supposed to talk about my relationship,
You're really not. But again, she was like, oh, I chose not to go over because I would have given him some shit and I was picking a fight. And that might be perfectly true. But she has no idea because they haven't spoken. And they haven't spoken because she hasn't been over there. Not, I think, because she'll pick a fight, although she is angry, but because he'll pick one.
I'm telling you, we're just going to leave it that.
We don't leave it at that.
My life doesn't make sense right
At
now.
all. I agree.
Whenever you're with okay, let me put it this way. Whenever you officially are with somebody as a couple, like when I was with BB, like I felt like, yes, we were individuals, but when you're with somebody as a couple, you're kind of like putting so much energy and working so hard into making a domestic life together. And that just like, domestic life, the word just makes me want to barf.
And I mentioned this as an issue she has. Now, I think one of the reasons domestic life, what she quite puts into that, I'm not sure, is hard with Dom is because this is not a relationship. A domestic life is not what this relationship is for. You know, it's not that kind of situation to my mind. I don't think they have that kind of relationship. But even if they did, and I don't like the comparison of BB and Dom here because I feel like BB was a very different person in a very different situation. I still stan BB, guys. I still stan him. But even if we were to scrub the slate clean, if nothing, not even just to forget, but if nothing could ever happen, if this were completely different and she were with another BB, she were in a fairly healthy relationship, as much as her and BB seemed a little disconnected at the end there, she is not emotionally equipped for even a healthy relationship. She doesn't want one. It freaks her out. But she actually, I'll rephrase, she desperately wants one, but she can't handle it. And this is when we say you need to work on yourself first, because she ruins every relationship she has. She has cheated on Pete, she has cheated on BB, she does talk about it a little bit in one of these lives that were running together in my head. Even if the relationship with Dom was perfect, which it's not, she would not be equipped for it. She's fucked either way, she needs therapy, because she can't sustain relationships, and that's an issue she needs to work on herself.
Things were so rocky at first. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm just saying, I'm just venting how I feel, I guess, a little bit. Had nothing to do with Shannon at all. Like, no, that wasn't even an issue. Like, wasn't even mad about that at all.
I wasn't entirely sure what she was talking about when she said she's not even mad, but in everything connected to Shannon, she mad.
I think I have a problem with commitment, especially right now.
I don't think you should be committing to the situation you're in at all. I think you should be running the other way. But, yes, newsflash, she has a problem with commitment. Think of even minor things, not even commitments to people. Commitments to lifestyles, commitments to schedules, commitments to planning, to videos, the idea of committing to anything in any way to any level just sends it into a tailspin. She can't even commit to a meal plan. And I'm not even talking all the stuff that goes in your head where you plan to eat healthy and then you binge. I mean, she can't even commit to writing something down and following it. And a relationship's a lot more work than that.
It's savage. It's not that I'm not saying he's out of my life. I'm not saying that I don't still have feelings or anything. It's not that anything's changed that way.
Later, she admits to some things potentially changing that way. And she has just said, I'm not sure I have a boyfriend anymore. So clearly something has changed. She's going back on it for some reason. Like, she didn't just say that. I think she forgets sometimes what she said.
Man, like, my life is just so fucked right now. And I have so many things going on. Health-wise, I need to take care of.
That she's really, really not taking care of. Like, it's all very well to say I have a lot to take care of. But if you're not taking care of it, it's not taking up any of your time.
And for the energy and commitment in going into something so serious, I've been neglecting like everything in my life. Yep. Because for me, it's hard to even juggle my own life.
Yep.
And having, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, and I'm finally like, I really, really do love being a YouTuber. I guess in Vegas, and I do really love what I'm doing, and I don't
know how I feel about that, because I feel if she loved what she was doing, she'd put more effort into her channel. I really do believe that. But I think she likes being a YouTuber more than she likes working a more traditional job, for sure.
Sharing things, and I just feel like being a YouTuber and being in a relationship is so fucking stressful.
It doesn't have to be. If it's that stressful, because she's not Trisha Paytas as much as she'd like to be. We're not talking millions of followers. Very devoted followers, either for or against, for sure. Like, things get picked apart, and that's going to be hard for any partner. But we're not talking millions here. It's as difficult as she makes it. If she could learn to hold things back instead of lying, if she could make content instead of relying on going on lives, if she could form relationships that weren't massively unhealthy, things would all be a lot easier. It's as hard as she makes it.
Like, I'm like actually like legit fucking traumatized right now.
I don't think it's YouTube that's traumatizing you right now. I'd like that to be redistributed to its proper area.
By like the past 3 months of just like the fucking drama and like my character is being challenged like daily, and I feel like it's like a test from like God. Like, I'm not joking, and I'm not a religious person. I don't pray, but I feel like everything I'm going through, because whenever I'm going through it, I'm thinking this is a fucking test right now. It's just like everything is so textbook right now in my life.
I used some very similar language a react or two ago, where I was saying her responses to what she's doing is textbook, but also, you know, when I said, okay, what if Dom isn't a love? What if he's a lesson? I think it's a very similar thought process she's bringing up here. Like, yeah, she keeps coming into these problems and she's never learning from them. And if she can sit here and recognize that, how can she go on just doing nothing about it? She has these moments where she's actually surprisingly clear-headed, and then she eats something and she smokes something and she tampers it down.
Textbook, everything, you know? Like, it's so like...
She's a fucking cliche at the moment.
This has to be a test, and it has to strengthen my character.
If it's a test she's failing.
I believe that you keep going through something and going through something, and like all the cycles I've been going through is because I'm not fucking learning, and I'm not making the right change. I think when the right change comes along, then things will just fall into place.
I think that's the problem, though. When the right change comes along, no, the things that are happening are the things that come along. The change comes from you. It's self-produced. If you're not working to produce that change, then nothing will fall into place. It's far more an active process than you're giving it credit for.
I'm also very controlling in a lot of ways, like...
Yeah.
I think I fall in love with the idea of somebody that they're actually not really that way.
Remember those moments of clear-headedness I discussed a minute ago? She'll never apply this to Dom, but here it is.
You want to try and help and change someone, but in the end you can't, you know? You want to see PT sleeping. Hi, Janny. I know you can't.
I mean, yeah, you can't change him and you won't change yourself, and look where we are.
Yeah, they don't fit into a little mold that you want to put them into. And I just want to be like the old. I'm just like too suffocating in a lot of ways too. I realize that if I'm feeling that way and I'm feeling so insecure and I'm doubting and questioning that's a lot of stress on both of us. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I would.
And yet we're still here.
I'd like to really be friends and like still be close and stuff. It's hard to do that with someone you have feelings with because then like you don't want to see them with someone else.
And that's the thing. This whole idea I'm in love has only been around for a few lives now, but it's coloring everything. She's like, oh no, I still want to be friends and still want to be close. No, cut him the fuck out of your life because there's no other way. It's the only healthy thing to do at this point. She's like, no, I want us to be friends because we have such a good relationship. You don't have a good relationship. You're not going to build a good relationship. It's all a lie you're telling yourself because you don't want to give it up.
I don't know. No, I'm not saying it's over. I'm just venting my thoughts. And yes, it's so weird because he's probably going to see this and be like,
Still creepy.
Probably not going to feel too good about it. Me saying this.
And yet here we are.
Telling him that.
So that's going to be another uncomfortable conversation they have. Great. No, this is shaping up well.
Oh, this is why being a YouTuber and in a relationship, because I have a big fucking mouth.
Yep.
No, he didn't even do anything yesterday to piss me off. I was just really pissy from the get-go, and then...
This is where I get confused with the timelines. He's like, he didn't do anything yesterday to piss me off, but I was pissy from the get-go. But I got the impression from the last time that she said, well, I didn't go over because I was so pissy, but it sounds like she saw him. So I don't know which is true at this point. And when she tells a story later about the homeless woman, I don't know what the timeline on that is, if she's actually been over there and then it's been awful and she's changed her mind and gone back, or what.
Being out in public and I don't know. I'm just saying what scared me about relationships in a way. It just sucks because I do love him, you know? He says he loves me. I think he does.
Why? Why do you think that? What evidence is there for that?
I feel like he does.
There's anything we've seen over the last 3 months is that she's hugely self-destructive. I would not trust her feelings.
It scares me. Not something that I plan to fucking happen right now in my life. I mean, I don't know if it's something I want, like, to be in something so serious that scares me, like, because it's so intense and time-consuming and...
I don't think the time-consuming is the issue. I think the intense is. And for all she says she wants intense, this kind of intense is not pleasant. She wants an all-consuming love, and instead she's getting this controlling, manipulative, dangerous guy. Okay, we're going to move on to Happy Birthday, Annie. I've slowed this down slightly, I know, because I accidentally captured it on a sped up. I listened to her at like 1.5 to 2 times speed, but it sounded very quick when I had, because I had to screen capture the parts of this that I cut out. It was a longer stream, but for some reason my downloader wouldn't download it past 30%, so I just had to capture portions of it. So we're not looking at as much of this. I've got about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yesterday I was a bitch. The thing was Shannon, I was in a mood that I didn't even recognize for myself. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I had plans with Dom, you know that, and we had planned to go out. And he's like very laid back with going out and stuff like that. Like, he just wants to go out. He doesn't care where, like, just going for a drive. But me, like, I was in such a bad mood and like driving around and like everything was pissing me off and I was just like freaking out at everything. I was like, it's okay, babe. Like, you know, like.
Doesn't she just sound so pleasant to be with? Like, not that she deserves what she's getting, but man, she doesn't make things easy on either of them.
I wonder if like a part of me was like testing to see how they because I didn't subconsciously, I don't think I was doing it on purpose, but I was being a big bitch. And I feel like a part of me does that sometimes to like test my partner to see like if I'm gonna push the buttons.
Yeah, and she does do that, and it's not a particularly healthy thing to do, and communication would be better. I don't think communication would particularly help this relationship, because I think it just tops it from the roots up. But she does do this, and she's done it to BB, and I'm guessing at some point she did it to Pete's, but she likes to test, just like with the text messaging, she likes to test people. She likes to see how far she can push them to prove their love, and we discussed that a little bit earlier. She wants constant proof, constant reassurance, and she doesn't always get it because it's not a healthy expectation to have 100% of the time. But that's how this comes out, and it's got to be very hard for any partner. Not that I sympathize with Dom in any way, but for any partner she has, that's going to be a challenge. And that's why I say, no, she's got a lot of stuff that she's got to work on with herself before she's really ready for any relationship, even a healthy one.
And like, if I had stayed there, like, I probably would have gotten in a big fight. I just realized that, like, I'm an abusive person. Like,
I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. She has a lot of issues when it comes to relationships. She has a lot of neediness, but the only reason she's recasting this is because of the accusation of abuse, potential evidence of abuse. No, guys, I asked for the cocaine. No, guys, I'm abusive. That is a terrible word. Don't apply that word just as like a get out of jail free on the accusation being leveled at him. They're serious words.
But it's like verbally, and even I'm pretty aggressive sometimes, like I'll throw shit. Yeah.
Sounds like a horrible situation. Like, they're both not okay in relationships. Like, it's terrible. Doesn't excuse you getting hit in the face. Like, they're different levels. You shouldn't be throwing shit. Is that where the broken glass came from? We don't know. That's pure speculation. But this isn't helping your case. It isn't defending him. It's just making you look worse.
Mostly when drinking too much or when I was doing coke. So it's like,
I don't imagine that helps either of you.
No, I mean, I just mean, like, I feel like I am too in a lot of ways. Like, I'm not perfect, you know?
And again, this idea of, oh, guys, nobody's perfect. There's a difference between not being perfect and being violent. They're very, very far apart. There's a lot of shades of grey in the middle there before you get over here.
That's not what I'm trying to do, Heather. I'm just saying, like, two aggressive people is a recipe. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying.
But let's not separate.
I'm trying to do that, I promise. That wasn't. I'm not trying to like set the stage for any kind. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying, just observing like what happened yesterday. Like, I'm just saying, like, fights are not always his fault or my fault. I'm the one who, you know.
It was my fault, and that's what I mean. It's so hard because I can imagine her getting to that point, because yeah, some people say some bad shit, but there are lines in behavior. If he's that angry, you walk away. You don't punch someone in the face.
Oh, this is a party. That's right. I'm sure Annie does. Well, wait till Annie gets in here, and then it will be her party.
Yeah, this was meant to be Annie's party. Annie's out living her life with her family, and when she comes back, like, she's not modded. She can't talk in this members only chat. Like, she ends up getting remodded to be able to chat, but being told, you know, please don't enforce your mod powers in any way. I'll take care of it, which fair enough. But it's a very serious conversation pre-party, and it's funny that the person it's meant to be a party for isn't there.
I'll stay on with you guys, but I'm gonna need a charger. Midlife crisis meeting.
She found it on the back of
Am I midlife right now? Yeah,
So
pretty much. Actually,
you wish you were midlife right now.
I think I'm past midlife. You know, there's just like some people that you're just like, I guess, really toxic as fuck with.
Yeah, we do know that. You know, we do know that.
I don't think it's like that, because there's so much good, but I don't know. The toxic ones. They're always the most passionate, that's why. The really wholesome ones can be boring sometimes.
And that's another really unfortunate understanding of relationships that she has, and that we've seen more of in the last few months, is that when I say she wants the fairy tale, she wants the all-consuming love, she sees these terribly problematic behaviors as proof of love. Well, yeah, he hit me, but he didn't mean to. He just felt so strongly for me, and he couldn't stop himself. He just feels so passionately about our relationship that when he gets angry, it consumes him too. And I feel like that's the way she's sort of passing it in her head, which I have a lot of problems with.
I'm not talking about, like, people who are in like serious domestic abuse situations or whatever. But
And again, what are not serious domestic abuse situations? Because I think like she's differentiating that from where she is. This is serious. You may not be in hospital right now, but domestic abuse is serious in all aspects.
I'm just saying, like, don't complain after the tea is spilled. I know, that's my problem. Like, that's what I mean. I don't know. Sometimes I just talk about too much, but at the same time, I like venting and talking about my feelings.
Yeah, therapy.
And a lot of the men I'm attracted to aren't good at talking, using their feelings or talking about their feelings. They don't like to. And that was one of the reasons it didn't work out with BB. Sorry, put that here. Oh well. Is because of that, like, the fact that, like, we didn't talk about our feelings of our relationship. I just felt like it was like, okay, then you obviously don't care enough if you don't want to talk, so then it's over.
Yeah, but she didn't expect it to be over when she gave that ultimatum. She expected the ultimatum to open up communications or for him to give in, and it just didn't work out that way. But yes, they seemed to have a communication issue. They seemed quite disconnected near the end, and that could definitely be a part of it. The communication or lack of same between her and BB is very different from the types of communication we're seeing between her and Dom.
You have to talk about your fucking feelings. That's why I feel like I don't know if I should be with a man, because they don't, men and women are just not the same.
But does she really? She talks about her feelings to us sometimes, but what we see her do with guys, or at least what we've seen her do with Dom, is just send 50 text messages and then blow up in their face over the course of about 27 minutes. So would we call her a good communicator either? No, I don't think so.
If you're someone who truly loves you, will Dawn, you'll be proud with you. Yeah, Dawn, of course, yeah, that's true. Therapy will help, yeah. I think it definitely will help put things into perspective.
Yeah, but she'll never go, so don't worry about it.
You mean like a couples therapist? Maybe that would be worth it if you love somebody enough, like you can go to therapy together, but if you've only been together for like 2 months.
I think given the situation she's currently in, I don't think couples therapy is the answer. I think getting the fuck out of there is the answer for sure. And to say, oh, if you love each other enough, she doesn't love herself enough to do therapy by herself, for herself. She doesn't love herself enough to give herself a safe space to work through some of the issues that she claims talking about helps. And no, couples therapy would not be the answer. Couples therapy might have been the answer for her and BB, had they caught it early enough, but her and Dom, no.
My battery's at 15%, but I'm not sure if I left my charger over there. He's not answering my phone call, probably because he hates my guts right now.
Yeah, so again, I said confused timeline, but we went from, okay, I don't know if I've got a boyfriend yet. No, I'm not saying we're broken up, to yet he's not answering my calls. So something happened there. Okay, I apologize for the quality of the sound in that last live. Like I said, the speed was a bit off and that was leading it to sound like that. So very sorry, I know audio issues are abound on this channel. We're moving into the open chat live, and that one was not screen recorded, so shouldn't have the same issues.
We're gonna do good tomorrow. I haven't eaten like this in a long time, and I just feel like, actually, you know what? I'm still eating less than I used to.
She eats continually through all of these lives. She's had Nashville chickens. She has like a big sub. She has that pasta. She buys a load of cakes. She had takeout, like delivery, 4 times during the course of these lives, plus food at home. So there was a lot going on. And now the more we're hearing about Dom and the fact that he's not answering and the fact that they seem to have argued and they don't seem to have fully dealt with the fallout of the Shannon thing, like, you can see why she's spiraling so quickly in these lives, and all of the food and the talk of depression and all of that, it's all connected.
Because I would eat like this almost every day. Like, no joke. Nikki Bats, I drive 100% sober.
No, you don't.
I swear.
No, you don't. We have had this live where you sat here and were like, well, what does sober really mean? What's the legal requirement? Oh, I don't know. It's been 3 months, but I don't know. But from now on, I'll be careful. You don't drive 100% sober. You're saying from now you will. That is very different.
So sorry for your loss. I 100% take that seriously. So if I ever look like
I do is actually I will from now, which also may not be true.
didn't, I promise you, absolutely never, like, even with the vape now, like, it's gonna be hours and hours.
It's going to be hours and hours. Was she planning to go and see them?
Yes, I do. You guys don't freaking believe me anyways.
Why would we? We have the evidence. We've had this conversation very rarely. If you have no idea what driving under the influence is identified as in Canada, so why would we believe you now? You don't even know what it means.
You don't believe me?
Nope, I don't.
Yes, I'm depressed. I just want to get married.
This was weird.
I want someone to love me,
And we've been saying that. Hang on.
Passionately.
Just couldn't do that without the burp. And again, passionately. He hurt me because he feels so strongly about me, and I think that's how she's passing it. I just want to get married came out of nowhere. She doesn't even want a traditional relationship. She wants to get married, and it gives more credence to the idea that her sister getting married is actually playing on her mind a lot more as a thing that she doesn't have. And were she with BB still, were she in her long-term relationship, were she not having all these feelings of being entirely unworthy and the family failure, which she's discussed quite a lot recently, it might be different. But as it is, being the drug-addicted woman with the fuck up she's dating versus the sister who keeps her life and health together and is now getting married, clearly it's bubbling in her head.
And romance me.
And again, that romance, it's the fairy tale. She's so sick of everything she's going through, she just wants a prince to come.
They should put the food away. I am. I'm gonna be sick.
Doesn't stop her from eating like that.
Did you remove glass from your foot? No, I need someone to do it for me. I can't do it myself.
Yeah, we have these things called doctors in these places called emergency rooms or urgent cares or doctors' surgeries, GPs. There's a number of people designed to do this for you. She, as an uncontrolled diabetic, is walking around with a piece of glass in her foot.
You can't make a decision because you know the right answer but don't want to be alone again. Love yourself enough to work on yourself.
100%. She doesn't answer this at all. She then says something to someone else about, oh, I'll need to unblock you.
Why is it the right thing? Doesn't everyone deserve like a second chance? Doesn't everyone deserve love?
It was just a mistake, you guys. Everybody makes mistakes. No one is perfect. He just hit me once. I've just brought in the example of rape several times while showing up with sex bruises. There's so much in this.
Doesn't everyone have a really good side? Like, everyone has a good side, you know?
Am I saying he's never done anything good in his life? I've got no idea. She claims he has. What good has he shown that is worth the depths of the bad? Because everyone lives in balance. Because there's one thing she's right about, nobody is perfect. But there is a line between not perfect and an abusive piece of shit. And I think he might have stepped over that. So yes, sometimes it's really good. Again, textbook response. But sometimes it's a punch in the face.
Oh no, I don't want to hear it.
This is
What
French fry
stuff are
girl.
you going to tell me, French fry girl? I don't want to hear it.
She doesn't want to hear anything. Although, to be fair here, French Fry Girl, and I will put her comment in here somewhere, was like, talk to me, it'll just be between us. And were I Chantal, and if I had that relationship or that type of relationship, or I had reaction channels on me, I wouldn't trust them either. So has the offer been made? Yes. Would she take it? No. Do I think she should take it? No.
Sometimes I wonder, like, not just him, but like if people you have sex with, you ever wonder, like, are they recording me? Like,
that's horrifying. No, I don't wonder that, because I have a level of trust with my partners or I don't sleep with them. And if you don't have that level of trust and you're concerned by that, don't fucking sleep with them. Because yeah, when she showed up at the pad and was like, yeah, we sleep on a mattress on the floor, we had some concerns that there might be a camera set up somewhere.
I really get scared. I don't trust anyone.
And in the current light of the betrayal she feels with Shannon, I understand it, but if you're unable to maintain trust in any of your relationships, except for maybe Pete, she trusts Pete to do fucking nothing, so he's safe, but that means she doesn't trust Dom, it means she doesn't trust her family, because all of them want, not all of them, Dom doesn't want what's best for her, but all of them want to influence her in some way, for better or for worse, and she doesn't want to hear it. So they're not trustworthy, because they might do something that she doesn't like.
I just feel like crying. I don't feel like crying for sympathy. I don't want sympathy, trust me.
Trust me. She doesn't want interference that the sympathy might bring. She wants the attention, or she wouldn't be doing this online.
I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust. I don't know. So, like, something so fucking weird.
Oh, before we get into this story, because I thought there was more, I must have cut it out. This whole, I don't know where to turn, I don't know who to trust. Okay, on a serious note, if you've got no one in your life you feel is a safe space, and you won't go to therapy because you fucking won't go to therapy, because that would be a safe space for you, like, call a helpline. Talk to somebody. Talk to a third person who is not connected to your YouTube channel, who is not connected to your family, who is not connected to your friend. Talk to an impartial third party. I don't think she will, however much she needs it, because if an impartial party is telling her the same shit we've been telling her, she can't write that off as hate.
Weird happened the other day. I wanted to tell you guys this.
Again, timeline. I'm not sure what the other
why,
day means.
But like what the situation was. But I decided to go. I think I was really missing Dom, and like sometimes like.
When is this?
Like he called me at like 4 a.m. Or talking, you know, like you start talking, you hear the person's voice, you start getting like, oh, come over right now, you know.
Okay, so
It was like 4 a.m, and like the way where he lives is there's like, it's like a building with multiple apartments, and then there's like a stair thing. On the stair thing, I thought it was like a black garbage bag. So it was like not moving. I'm going to go up the stairs, and all of a sudden I just see like there's this homeless woman that's camping out on his like front, on his stoop, like where his, up on his stoop thing.
So not near the building, not in a hallway, on his doorstep.
There's like a candle. She has a candle, a Pepsi, like she's like huddled over this like younger like homeless woman, and she's like, hi, and I'm like, I
At 4 a.m.
fucking flipped out. I was so scared. I'm petrified, because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, first of all, who is this? I'm a friend of the man who lives here.
Reassuring.
I was like, what? So then, like, I don't know, he like comes to the door, and then he's like, oh, hi, sorry, I'm Angelique, and I'm just like looking for friends or something. And I was like, you can't be here. You can't, like, you're like, you know, you can't be here. Like, the cops are gonna come. But then, like, he didn't like really tell her to leave or anything. Tell her to leave, fuck, you know? Like, anyway, I don't know. I just found that so fucking weird.
At this point, the chat tells her exactly what I was thinking, like, sounds like your love of your life is a drug dealer. When homeless people are turning up at 4 a.m. looking for him because they're friends, sounds like you might be dealing drugs. But let's move on. Let's finish the story.
Am I supposed to, is that something I shouldn't be talking about?
Yeah.
This is a bad story?
Yeah. And she really thinks that we're just going to laugh along. How bizarre. Like, oh, oh, those crazy kids.
What? We go back, open the door, like a little while later. There was like, on the doorstep, condoms. Like all condoms in the package. And then she left like one opened, and then like one blown up like in a balloon with like a muffin wrapper and a Pepsi. And I was like, why? I just thought it was weird. I don't know. Maybe.
It's a funny story, you guys. A funny story to distract from this worse narrative I don't want to do anymore. What did she think people were going to assume from that story? Apparently not what we did.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you guys that.
Well, maybe not.
I don't want to lose support. I just want something I can talk to, you know?
Yep.
That's what I use you guys for.
Yeah, we're the wrong people, love.
I just feel like heartbroken.
It's inexplicable to me how she's gone from I don't care, maybe I care, I'm completely and utterly in love with him and heartbroken. It's inexplicable to me how fast that has happened. But it's what she thinks, even if it's not really showing any basis in reality.
That's all. I know I need therapy.
Yep, but you're not going, are you?
But I also like to come on here. It is therapeutic for me to talk about, like...
Therapy achieves certain goals. It breaks down certain things. It helps you to heal. It is cathartic to a point, which is, I think, the sensation she's getting from this. This is not therapy. It does you no good in the long run.
On this open forum. I don't know why. It's pot eyes and tears. It's soggy hamburger eyes.
Sounds awful. More in a pathetic way than anything, but awful.
I feel so much guilt about realizing how badly everything I've been going through has affected everyone around me, but fuck, I feel like I should take on that guilt. I just don't.
This will be an important point in a moment when she goes off at Shannon again.
Because I feel like I really did anything purposely to hurt people.
Doesn't matter if it was purposeful or not, if you actually did hurt people though. When we talk about her family, for example, yes, they're her family. So there's a certain emotional connection that's supposed to come from that. There's a certain familial obligation there and a relationship there. And how deep those relationships go depends on the family. It really does. No family is perfect, but she placed a huge amount of emotional load on her family, a huge emotional burden on her family, and then just completely blew them off. So should you feel guilty for being in the situation you're in? Perhaps not. No one wants to be abused. But should you feel guilty for making the choices you made as a result of that and placing that burden on your family while being completely unwilling to engage with them? A little bit, I think.
I really didn't, and that's what bugs me. If you had a best friend, let's say you had a best friend of 20 years and you told them that you were raped.
Either Foodie told Shannon she was raped, and that's why she's so worried about more DMs being leaked, because the only ones Shannon has leaked at the moment are the ones between her and Dom. Or you need to stop using this as a fucking example, because she's brought up rape a number of times now and then been like, no, I'm not saying that happened. Then stop using it.
Well, it's just an example.
It's a bad example.
And they fucking blabbed it to all your haters when you told them not to. It doesn't matter if what she said was true or not.
It does matter, because the impact of it is very different if it's true.
It has no relevancy at all.
It absolutely is relevant, particularly as Shannon herself is a survivor of abuse.
I just want to be left alone. I don't want to fucking think about her. I want to talk about her. Actually, it gives me really bad vibes too. So that means that person is toxic in my life. I don't care if you mean well. Doesn't matter if you mean well. You can shoot somebody in the head and be like, I meant well.
Okay, so my question now then is, if your intentions towards your family, if the fact that you didn't mean to hurt them is valid and means that you shouldn't feel guilty, that you should be forgiven for that because your intentions were not to hurt them even if you did, why can Shannon then not be forgiven for the same? Because to me, those intentions, although they may have changed towards the end in terms of her going to quote unquote hater channels, reaction channels, but the information we have from your mouth is that Shannon tried to call you, contacted Dom, contacted your parents. She tried a number of ways to intervene privately with this issue that you did not respond to or respond to well. And then she went public. So if she's saying, even at the cost of our 20-year friendship, I, a survivor of abuse, am willing to do anything to get you out of this situation or to push you in a direction where you realize the severity of your situation, and publicly seems to be the only way you listen to it, why don't her intentions count? Because the only difference I see in this, and as I say, I think now it's at the fuck you stage, but the only intentions I see with the initial action, the only difference I see in those intentions is that one of them makes your life easier, you not feeling guilty for your family, and one of them makes them harder, you having to deal with the fallout of people knowing that Dom was at least at some point abusive. That's the only difference I can see. And they're not that different.
Even, okay, let's just say, okay, sure. I can't, no, I haven't accomplished anything in the past 3 months at all. I have been going downward spiral, yeah.
Yeah. So you admit that, yeah. So what? So people are scared for you.
I'm not gonna deny that. Like,
who could
do you
at
think
this
I'm
point?
blind? I'm very aware that that's what's happening.
But so aware you're not doing anything. You're choosing for this to happen. And then you still wonder why people say things.
Am I fully 100% self-aware right now? Probably not.
No, probably are. You are fully 100% self-aware right now. But you value being with anybody more than you value anything else in your life. So you will take the abuse, and you will take the financial burden, and you'll take the isolation, and you'll take the loss of friendship and the eventual loss of family if it continues, because you're so fucking terrified to be alone. And even as the potential of him not talking to you, we can see you losing it with your 4 meals of takeout and your edibles and your smoking. This is you when it's a maybe.
And yeah, I mean, obviously I know that. I guess I just feel like, why am I being attacked? Like, why am I being attacked for falling in love with somebody? Why am I being attacked for liking drugs too much? I can't help it. You know? Like, why am I being attacked for that? Like,
She is purposefully putting a very simplistic slant on what's going on because it's easier for her to play victim, even though she is in a number of very real ways a victim, but not in a way that works for her, so it's different. She's not being attacked for liking drugs too much. She's not being attacked for the situation that has happened to her. She is being held to account for her actions after those facts. She's being held to account for the choices she's making. She didn't choose to get punched in the face. She did choose to involve Shannon, and she did choose to tell everybody to fuck off after she had involved them. She chose to ignore her family. She chose to ignore her friends. She's being held to account for the choices that came after, and she is still responsible for those, even in the situation she's in. She is not trapped with Dom. She has a place to live. She has independent income. She has a car. She has no children holding her there. She has everybody around her wanting her to get out and willing to help her. And she's choosing to not. Okay, we're going into the last live. Guys, we may survive this. We may survive this. God knows how long this video is going to be. But this is 5 night Beezers.
that was intense. That was something else?
I did cut out a fair amount of rage about the Shannon situation in the last live. Yeah, so she ranted and she ranted for a solid, gotta be 20 minutes. So we had discussed all the elements I felt needed discussing connected to it, so I didn't need to show that rant, but it went on and it was quite intense as a viewer, as an audience member, to have to sit there and do it.
No, that was definitely, you know what, it didn't really bother me.
Oh, and the last one was an open chat, so there was a lot of response there.
I don't see a lot of the comments, and I'm not surprised by them. I'm not completely blind. I know how people see me. Why do I put myself through that? Because I'm a YouTuber.
So it's really just our fault.
I don't like the racist spamming. What can I say?
I didn't see the very end of this. I don't know if there was racist spamming going on. She seems to be using it as an excuse to have then gone members only. I'm sure she was relieved to go members only for sure, because it's a lot easier on her. Even when her members are critical, it's nowhere near the same as having an open chat. But she holds up racist spammers. No, these are the lines we don't cross. But her history proves otherwise.
That gets on my nerves. If that wasn't around,
convenient for you.
I don't care. I stand my ground on how I feel, especially regarding the Shannon situation.
She's still mad.
That actually hurt me more than being beaten in the face a million times.
So, here she went more than being beaten, and then she realized what she was admitting to. Because remember, the story up until now, and this is where the change in tone comes in, after quite a few meals and quite a few cannabis products, she goes from saying being beaten to switching her language slightly and being like, oh, it feels worse than being beaten a million times. Because nobody could have been beaten a million times, so therefore it was clearly just an example.
I know, I'm not saying I got beaten multiple times in the face.
Multiple times in the face. I'm not saying I didn't get beaten once, but that was not my example, and I definitely did not catch myself.
But when people say you'll forgive somebody for hitting you, I'll just use this as an example. We won't forgive your Shannon for what she did. No, because what Shannon did actually hurt more than any physical abuse, honestly.
So we should not focus on the physical abuse. Don't focus on that and the difficult questions around it. Focus on the betrayal, because that's the thing I want to discuss.
Yeah, Arlene, sometimes physical pain, sometimes emotional pain, mental pain is just unbearable too. Maybe one day I'll revisit it. I just need some time. God, it's still fresh. I'm still angry. I'm still emotionally fucked up. I'm probably not even myself right now.
You have been yourself, yes, you've been under the influence, but we've seen a lot of you and you don't seem remarkably different right now.
Oh my God, yeah, I need therapy.
Yeah.
I want to honestly run over there and just grab him and shake him and tell me that none of any of it's true, that you're all that, you know what I mean? I know the answers.
She knows the answers. And this is the change of tone I was talking about. She's gone from saying no to catching herself to stop herself from saying yes, to presenting this as, oh, I know it's all a lie. I know the answers. I just want to shake him and beg him to deny it. Because if he denies it, she can hold on to that denial. If she can't see it actively happening, she can deny it's happening. She can explain away why it happened before, because she's abusive, guys. It's her fault. She's an argument. She's no peach. She's no peach, but it's not the same.
I think so, poop fart, but that's probably worse than I imagined.
I did have to check what the guy said.
You mentioned a name that I heard her mention before, so I know she's probably telling the truth.
It's opened up a question in her mind that she's uncomfortable with, and she doesn't want the answer to, because it's going to make things harder to deny.
About some things, I don't want to know.
She doesn't want to know. And ultimately,
anyway, even if it was impulse, so can learn to control your fucking impulses then.
Excuse you.
I need to too. But I wouldn't like somebody to be mad at me. I would own my shit. I don't like people who don't own their mistakes.
Well, she doesn't like herself. She's right.
I don't. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that. I don't always own my shit.
True.
But I want to work to own my shit more for sure.
And to her, I want to do this at some point in the future is the same as having done it, so I can judge you on it.
Why can't something that is too good to be true just be fucking true for once?
That would be lovely. That would be the fairy tale. But you're living in reality, and it's incredibly dangerous the way she avoids that.
I need a cigarette. I'm just gonna have one, don't give me shit.
Didn't she already have one? Or am I getting that confused? I can't remember which stream it was.
I'll crack a window. and like got mad at me for asking about it. And I'm just like, that's usual to you that there's a fucking homeless fucking woman. I know that's mean. I don't mean to say bum.
Caught herself again. He got mad at me for asking. Oh, there was a scenario that definitely you've been denying. He's not a drug dealer, guys. But when you question him on this very odd occurrence, he won't answer you and gets angry at you questioning him. Sounds healthy, sounds no problem at all.
Well, I was mad, so I think I said that. But I don't have anything against homeless people, obviously. Like, or against her. I feel fucking terrible for her. Like, she has to do that, go around fucking...
She has to do that. She's not going around to random people's places. She was there with purpose, my dear.
I don't know why people are like, you're condoning abuse. I would never condone abuse. I will say that I used to be smug and a real asshole, and I used to say all the time when I would hear women, I would always say in the past, I don't know how women who are like victims of abuse stay with their boyfriends. You know what I mean? What an asshole thing to say.
It doesn't show a huge amount of understanding, but doesn't she seem like she understands that better right now? He doesn't beat me, you guys, but again, the change in tone. He doesn't beat her, but she never understood before why people would stay with them, and now she does. She goes back and forth on, I want to say how useful it is. She still wants to talk about it, but she knows that the fallout of talking about it is going to maybe not be worth it, but she kind of can't help herself. But she can't decide here if she wants to stick with the narrative of, no, he doesn't do anything, this is a lie, which is we're a little bit too late for and people won't believe, but she wants to deny it to herself, if nothing else, you know? If she says it here, she has to admit it to herself, and that's a big thing. But at the same time, speaking of being addicted to attention, she would get a lot more sympathy from her general audience if she framed herself as a victim of abuse, even though she doesn't want to be one.
I could definitely cut back on the marijuana products.
Oh, yes, you could.
It's more like $800 a month, like on a really bad month, and that's excessive.
That can't be true. That can't be true because the last haul we counted, I actually counted up. When I gave the figure of $500 just over, I went to Canadian websites and priced that, and they were about the same across the board. We have seen her have hauls since then, and they've been of the same size. And there's bound to be stuff she's bought that's been off screen. So she's got to be spending more than that.
I know we're not good. I know we're not good for each other. And a part of me just really loves him so much.
Really loves not being alone so much, I think is a lot more accurate. But as she's getting more tired and more high, she's revealing more.
But I always feel super, super affectionate, like just want to kiss, and I don't feel that's reciprocated. Like, no matter how much I bring that up, you know?
So the interesting thing here to me is she has tried to communicate that. And it's a part of her relationship. It keeps the sheen on it. If we kiss and we hug and we dance in the kitchen and we cook together, it's a real relationship. It's not what it started as. And she doesn't get that, and it's so important to her because without it, it's a very stark view of what she's actually living. So she's actually tried to bring that up, and it hasn't helped because it's not what he's looking for at all.
I think just the strength of character that BB's always had has made me always feel so insecure as a person. And I think that I projected that onto him, and that's why I cheated. Like, I cheated on him had nothing to do with him. Because I loved him. It was me. I didn't feel worthy because he was such a good person.
And again, that's the self-sabotage I was talking about. She always tests because she wants proof of love because she doesn't believe herself worthy of the love. Prove it, prove it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it because how could I? Because who on earth would love me? And she's not ready for an unhealthy relationship. She's not ready for a healthy one. She needs to have therapy. It's not a new conversation. I'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it.
That's therapy shit.
Yeah, the therapy you're not going to, yeah.
I don't usually like bad boys at all.
Lies!
Bad boys are hot, they hurt your feelings. Yeah, there's something hot about them, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. But again, extremes are attractive to her because she equates extremes with love.
Well, I'm heartbroken. It really hurts. I'm in love.
She's got a little smile here, like she knows how childish this sounds.
I'm in love.
She's overplaying it
What
though.
does financially abusive mean?
It's not hard to figure out. You fucking know what it means. You've had people level that accusation at him long before now. As he sits with your iPhone and your TV.
All I do is come live and just sit here sad. All the time.
And we should pity her and send her super chats and give her unwavering support and no questions. Guys, I've had enough of her. I've still got to edit this. It's already 10 p.m. I'm going to leave you there to gather your own thoughts. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. We made it through. Love you all, and I'll see you next time.